Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I won't lie, I spent the last 3 weeks shooting this video multiple times, but there was just so much ground to cover, I didn't know where to stop. So I decided let's just go ahead with it. And if I miss out on anything at all, like you can leave like comments in the bottom and I'll try and cover it in the next video. The incentive for this video is to cover pre-production, production, and post-production, and how we can use AI tools to enhance your productivity as a filmmaker. So let's dive right in. I want to start with some pre-production work. So in pre-production, we'll be covering things like script writing, short breakdown, storyboarding. So let's dive right in. So we have with us here a page from the script of Good Will Hunting, which I'm going to put in ChatGPT, which is the first tool we use. There's a mode called Code Interpreter on ChatGPT now, which can do OCR, which is optical character recognition. So if you put in any page, it can understand the text for you, right? So it converts this into text for me. And now what I can do is I can perform some kind of analysis on this text. So next thing I'm going to do is ask ChatGPT, what kind of analysis can you do for me from this text? So then like ChatGPT tells me it can do things like sentiment analysis, which will be like it can understand attitudes, opinions, and emotions expressed within the text. It can do character analysis, which can look at the relationships between the characters, their dialogue, their actions. Another thing ChatGPT can do is thematic analysis, which is it can understand the different themes in a script. It can also do narrative structure analysis. So it can like understand where the conflict of the script is, where the action is taking place, where's the resolution of the conflict. It also does location analysis to understand significance of different locations within the script. The next thing I asked ChatGPT is, can you perform a Bechdel test on this text? So essentially, Bechdel test is a measure of the representation of women in fiction. So it asks whether a work features at least two women who talk to each other about something other than men. So I have to put the entire screenplay for this, which I downloaded on the internet, and it does do some analysis on this. And you can see some work also that ChatGPT is doing behind the scenes for this. As you can see, it's written code to identify the different characters, the female characters within the script. And yes, it's done some analysis to figure out the lines of the women. Clearly, we can see that the script does not pass the Bechdel test. So that's an interesting data point for any script. Another thing I want to do now is identify points of tension in the text. So as you know, so every story has a conflict, action, and resolution of that conflict. You can also consider conflict to be like different tension points within the story throughout the course of the script or story. So I want to identify that within this script, right? So within this Good Will Hunting story, we have like Will's arrest, Will's therapy sessions. So like different like tension points within the story itself. So I think ChatGPT does a good job of figuring that out. The next thing I want to do is, because it's code interpreter, I can ask ChatGPT to visualize points of tension as a graph, which has a story moving forward in time, with time being the x-axis, the points of tension being plotted on the y-axis, and the graph being the story. So when there is a conflict being built up, the graph peaks up, and when there is a resolution of conflict, there's a trough. I want you to plot such a graph for this text. I put in the entire script again for this screenplay, and it does give me a graph, and that's amazing, right? Like it can like break down any story into like its graph. I think this is like useful analysis for any script. Next thing I'm going to try and do is I want to identify these tension points, and just using language from sentiment analysis of the text of the script, I want to determine what kind of background music we should play at different tension points in the story. I think that will make our life so much easier, right? Like it'll be a fun thing to do. Oh, ChatGPT does do this for me, right? So it can like break down different sentiment texts into like highly positive sentiment, moderately positive sentiment, neutral sentiment. So it does this classification, and according to this classification, it can also tell me like what kind of music to play. So it can tell me like play a triumphant orchestral piece or a soft romantic melody. It can tell me like when to play like gentle instrumental music or relaxing music. It can also tell me when to play like ambient noise. It can also tell me when to play like dramatic, sad, or even like scary music. So I think this is like pretty helpful. And it's a new way to like, I think it's a new way to interact with stories and use technology to assist in determining what kind of background music to play. Next thing I want to do is I want to ask ChatGPT to write a similar story based on the same narrative arc for me, based in India. It does write a script for me. And it writes a story about this guy called Arjun who works as a janitor at this engineering company, and this software engineer picks him up and notices his talent and sends him to this one Dr. Kapoor who acts as a renowned psychologist. Then Arjun goes through therapy sessions. He also meets a fellow girl called Naina, who works as an engineer on the team. He also has like his own friends. Naina encourages Arjun to pursue his dreams. Then we see that there's a conflict where Arjun has a falling out with his friends and feels abandoned by his new life. He has a heated argument with Naina where she decides to move back to her hometown, Delhi. And then, like, eventually there's a resolution of the conflict where Arjun finally confronts his past and his fears during the therapy session. And then he comes out triumphant in the face of all of this and finally reconciles with Naina. I think it's an interesting plot. Regardless of what the plot is, I think we can use this as an essential tool to start coming up with more stories. Next thing I want to do is I want like an entire shooting schedule and a short breakdown of everything I want for this script. Let's see if ChatGPT can make that for us in a downloadable Excel format, because Code Interpreter can do that. So I ask for this, and yes, we get a spreadsheet with the date, scene number, whether the shoot is a day, night, there's a location, there's one line description of each scene, there's characters, artists, units, call time, artist, call time. This is super helpful, right? Like, it eases the job for so many pre-production planners and assistant directors where you don't need to manually do all of this, and like you have AI to assist you with this stuff now. So I think this is super helpful. Next, I want to show you a tool called MusicLM by Google. It's Google's new tool to generate music. And first I log in, I sign in. So it can ask me like, what do you want to create? So I need to put in a prompt for this. What kind of music I'm going to create? Let's just have a look at some kind of prompts you can put in. Okay, let's check like a soft romantic melody. Let's type in a soft romantic melody. Not bad. Not at all. I mean, does a good job of generating music. Now let's check out Midjourney, which is another tool we'll be checking out. I log into my Midjourney account, and here's a prompt that's preloaded on my Midjourney account already. Create a photorealistic image of a statue of Birsa Munda, the iconic tribal leader from Jharkhand. The statue should be in a heroic pose. I think you can like specify different elements you want in this picture. You can even like mention things like you want a mid shot taken in a high resolution camera, possibly a Canon camera. You can also mention the lens, the megapixel of the camera, the ISO sensitivity, shutter speed. I think we can use this well for things like storyboarding and like having like storyboard shots or images for planning a shoot. Next, let's check out a tool called Runway ML, which is for video generation. So Runway ML can do video to video generation, text to video generation. It can also remove background from videos. It can remove text. It can do text to image. I think it can do like many things for video. I think it's an amazing tool just to generate video. So let's try text to video tool. Gen 2 is the latest version, so let's start with that. Let's put in a prompt. Let's try an aerial view of New Delhi. I generated. Takes a bit to generate this video. Um, wow, that looks good. I think you can even like see the pollution in Delhi on this, but it's a good shot. I think we can use this kind of tool for a lot of things like B-roll and stock footage. So I think this is helpful. I think you can share it with your friends. You can reveal the prompt. I think you can download this as well. You can change the playback speed, and then you can download it. Again, like this is again a useful tool. We can use all these tools at some point for things like we can use this like we can use AI tools for many more things. These are just some things I could cover in this video because there's so much to cover. I don't want to miss anything out. Um, do leave comments below if you want me to cover any other aspect of filmmaking using just AI tools, and I'll try to cover that in the next video. Um, Thank you for watching this video. Please do like, comment, and subscribe if you want to watch more content like this. Thank you for watching.